Mike, you felt those two first half goals just gave us too big a mountain to climb, although the chances in the second half gave us almost a route back into it.
Yeah, but I think I've just said to the group there, we've lost 5 games now, which is not acceptable, and no one's accepting that. And I think off the top of my head, all those defeats have been by a single goal. So we're just killing ourselves in moments. And the first half was okay in spells, but it wasn't at the level required. And then what you do is we don't defend this kind of bottom corner particularly well. They then get out the other side. They find a pocket of space, and look, it's a great strike from the lad, but from a structural perspective, it's not acceptable from our point of view. And then the second goal is just a cross in the box, and just, you know, they get first contact, second contact, we find ourselves 2-0 down. So that kind of almost compounds the first half. And then the second half, you make a change and put an extra midfielder into midfield to try and wrestle a little bit of control. And the second half was much better, but no one really cares about the second half because we've lost the game. We've created so many, I wouldn't say half chances, but big chances to get ourselves back into the game. Obviously, Fred scores early, but before that, we had a massive chance. We've had a couple of really big chances in front of their goal, and we haven't taken. And the reality is, they've taken their chances, which I don't think were big chances in the game, and we've had 3 or 4 really big chances and not taken them. So at the moment, the moments in the game are killing us, and at the moment it's really fine margins between us being successful and unsuccessful. The games are always, you know, they've all been super close, but today again, you know, I feel like a broken record because I don't want to apologise again to the fans, but you know, I thought they were really good, in particular the second half. They really kind of galvanised us. But I'm stood here again with another defeat and scratching my head around, how do we defend that cross better? You know, how do we get out and put pressure on the ball? But then, you know, what I can't legislate for is when the ball lands to someone in the box and, you know, just put your foot through it and hit the back of the net. So, yeah, another frustrating afternoon, which we'll be back at Marlow Road on Monday to make sure we put next weekend right.
I think every time we've fallen behind this season so far, the response has been excellent. We finished the games really strongly, but as you said, we've lost by 1. We've not then gone on and lost by 3 or 4. It must be frustrating then at the start of the game, particularly having gone with the same lineup and setup as last Saturday, is then letting us down, and we are falling behind in these situations.
Yeah, but we can't, you know, go a goal down for us to then wake up, if that's the right phrase to use. We can't use that as an excuse. Like I said, we find ourselves 1-0 down through. It's a really good strike, and you've got to give the lad credit for that. But you know, we've also got to look at ourselves in terms of where we were structurally to stop that happening. And the second goal, we've just got to defend better. It's really simple. And as the head coach, I've got to take responsibility for that because I'm working with them on the grass every week. And then you find yourself 2-0 down. And there's not a huge amount in the game at that point. You know, Fred has a massive chance, and listen, I'll never point fingers at players, but Fred has a massive chance really early in the game where we have a really good bit of play, and then Taylor Allen has a really good chance from a real cleverly worked set piece. You know, they find themselves 2-0 down, and we've missed both of those opportunities, and that's the bit at the moment. It's those fine margins. We have to take those chances, and we have to defend better in our box. If we don't do that, then I'm going to be sounding like a broken record every week. So yeah, back to work, back on the training pitch. You know, be really disciplined with what we're trying to do, and we need a little bit more from the players in both boxes, defending the box and putting the ball in the back of the net.